and broke my foot in 6 places.
And as you can see, my brain's melting.
3 plates and 14 screws in my foot now, so...
Don't do that, kids. Don't do that.
Hi, I'm Abby Wingett and you're watching Fast Talk.
Welcome to Fast Talk, the motorsports show where we promote grassroots motorsports across Gippsland and Victoria. My name's David, and with me, Simon.
Good to be back.
Yeah, it's great. I'm so tired.
It's been busy.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, we've been doing a hell of a lot, but it's been amazing fun. So,
It's been so much fun, though.
yeah.
So we were lucky enough to be invited to the Phillip Island Classic.
Yeah, we were.
And, this is what we got up to. At first glance, the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit, located in Victoria's Western Port Bay, could be dismissed as a simple racetrack with a reasonably easy layout. However, one lap of this nearly 4.5 kilometre circuit will have you realising just how technical, fast and flowing this track is, with each corner feeding into the next. Racing on Phillip Island began as the 100-mile road race, an event regarded as the first Australian Grand Prix. Basically a rectangle and approximately 10 kilometres long, it used public roads for both car and motorcycle racing. In 1952, the circuit was opened on its current site and ran the Armstrong 500, the precursor of the Bathurst 1000. Turn 9, a fast uphill left-hand corner, is known as Lukey Heights, named after Len Lukey, who bought the circuit and reopened it in 1967. Where it ran the Australian Manufacturers' Championship and the touring cars until it closed again in 1978 due to track degradation. Part of the reason for the poor track condition was the bridge connecting the island to the mainland at San Remo, which wasn't able to withstand the heavy vehicles required to resurface the circuit with the usual hot mix asphalt. Instead, a cold mix of asphalt had to be used and it broke up quickly under race traffic. Thanks to the access bridge to the island being upgraded in the mid-1980s, the much-needed heavy equipment to properly resurface the track could get to the circuit. The track was resurfaced, upgraded and reopened again in 1988. In 1989, it was added to the FIM Road Racing World Championship, which is now known as MotoGP. Gardner Straight, Doohan Corner and Stoner Corner are all named after Australian motorcycling multiple world champions. The current fastest lap record of Phillip Island is held by Tim Slade in a Brabham BT62, 1 minute 24.0607 seconds. Exit of the Southern Loop being just over 100 metres from the waters of Bass Strait, Barry Sheen once called Phillip Island
gateway to hypothermia.
Turn 10, known as MG, is the slowest corner, a second gear right-hand turn with the corner entry coming from a steep downhill incline from Lukey Heights. A lap around the island will see a driver be at full throttle for over 70% of the lap with only 6 braking points, which is the least amount of braking points for any track on the MotoGP calendar. All of this makes Phillip Island one of the best racetracks in the country. Welcome to Fast Talk. We're at the Phillip Island Classic. And what a day. So as you can see, today is just like having your Matchbox collection just come to life. It is every car that you've ever wanted. It is V8 supercars. It is Australian touring cars. It is Formula One cars. It's everything you can imagine. And as you can see, my brain's melting.
So we've made our way over to the pavilion. I can tell you, this is the ultimate collection of Matchbox cars, but in real life. Now, I have found a special one. I'm going to show you it's over here. Now, if you grew up in the 80s, you're going to be really familiar with this particular car. Here it is, the Delorian. What a beautiful car this is. Now, the truth be told, they don't actually drive that well, but I don't care. I love this thing. And it's got a few special items in here if you want to have a look as well. On the dash, we've got the Grey Sports Almanac there. We've got Marty McFly's red puffer vest, complete with a hoverboard and lace-up boots there. But I'm loving one special item here. I love the number plates. They're out of time. What a great little addition to this car. I love it. Can't justify it, but I want it. Now, if you don't have enough cars in here, check this out. It doesn't stop.
All right. Without doubt, the star of the weekend is this, the Porsche 91730, a 5.4 litre twin turbo flat 12 producing over 1100 horsepower. This is just a work of art. There is no better way to describe this car. You should see it on the track. It's amazing. Mark Donoghue took the 91730 to Talladega and set an average speed of 355.8 kilometres an hour. Now, we know we're all about grassroots motorsport, but when you get the opportunity to stand right next to a car like this, you take that opportunity.
Usually when we're thinking about motorsport, most of our attention usually goes to the drivers and the cars. But the real people that make all of this happen are some of our marshals. And I've got Michelle and AJ with me. Thank you for coming over to have a bit of a chat with us. And first of all, thank you for the work that you do, because I understand you guys are volunteers. You're not paid to do this work. Is that correct?
That is correct. We do this for the love of motorsport, but I have probably a better view than anywhere else. So yes, I love doing this. Have been for 15 years, and I do everything from grassroots all the way up to the Formula One.
I might come back to some of that, but so 15 years being able to do what you love. And AJ, you've only been doing it for about years.
That's right, yes. I've only been doing, I've done a handful of events, but I'm having so much fun. It's so much fun. The more you do it, the more you want to keep doing it.
I can absolutely imagine that. So you guys both didn't really grow up in motorsport, is that correct?
No, I just had the passion for watching adrenaline stuff, and motorsport just happens to be one of them. And the more I started coming to more and more events, the better I enjoyed it. And this is now my hobby, and my hobby I got to do on a regular basis.
Is it particularly hard to get involved in being able to become a marshal?
No, not really. I mean, there's some stuff you have to go through to obviously make sure you're safe when you're out here. But apart from that, really, anyone can do it. And you'll see if you talk to the people around the track, there's just such a diverse group of people that are involved in the sport. It's amazing.
Now, Michelle, you did mention that you've done everything from grassroots up to Formula One, and we are usually about grassroots, but I can't help but ask, tell me a little bit, what is it like being at the Formula One and being that close to the action?
Well, it's actually really good because this year I'm going to have a really good experience. I'm working the start-finish line. So I'll actually have all of the drivers just standing next to me. And yeah, it's just something different, but grassroots, you get a lot more action. There's always good stories. And Formula One, you do stand around a little bit more and it's the elite sort of thing. But yeah, you go back to grassroots and you get to enjoy this sort of racing and it's fun.
AJ, what would be probably one of the best motorsport events that you've been able to work at?
Probably this one, actually. It's such a nice track. It's a beautiful spot, beautiful day. And you get to work with a nice group of people, learning from the amazing Michelle here. So, yeah, I'm actually signed up for the Grand Prix next week as well. So that'll be my first kind of big one, which will be a good experience. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, I think there you have it. This is what another avenue that you can get involved in motorsport. We don't always have to be behind the wheel. You can get nice and close to the action, like you've said, and even be able to get even closer to something like the Formula One would be pretty special.
Yeah. So if anyone ever wants to join, they've got to be 16 years old to come trackside. If they want to work, say, like a paddock when they're a little bit younger, that'll get a chance to work the cars and see what they are when you're gridding them up. But to come out here, if you want to do what we're doing, look for Victorian Flag Marching Team and they'll have an actual people for induction and then they'll get back to you when you put the details on it.
That's perfect. So what we will do is, usually what we do is along here, we will put that link and you'll be able to follow that information from Michelle. So thank you again. Thank you for having us and thank you for all the great work that you guys do.
Awesome.
That's all right. Thank you for coming around to see what we do.
Abby Wingett, and this is your Hyundai Excel, but there's Formula One cars and all sorts of wonderful, amazing cars there, but we've got an amazing Hyundai Excel here. So how does that coincide?
Yeah, well, we've got this amazing program called the Regularities for the juniors here. So it allows us to bring a non-historic car, so pre-20 or 25 years old, out to this event so we can get lap times in, and part of that, we're part of the junior program, so we get free entry to run these events, which keeps the cost down for us. So it's a great way for us to get involved in the sport at a cheaper rate. And this car here I built myself with my dad and Gov, so it's been pretty cool.
That's fantastic. So you're saying that this weekend has cost you nothing?
For any juniors under the age of 21, so I have to pay because I'm over the age of 21 now, but my sister's running this car. This is my car, but my sister's running it to get a feel for it this weekend. And I also lent out the other car to my friend Trent to run my other Excel.
So you're lending out cars, you're already a car mogul. That's fantastic.
That's it, yeah, I love it, love it.
So how has the weekend been?
It's been great. I've been handling two cars, a Formula Junior and a Formula Ford this weekend, loving it, so in two different categories, so it's been great.
I have to ask, how did you get into motorsport?
Through my dad. I was really sick during high school, and so he said, why don't we get a sport that's not so much on your feet, running, that kind of thing. He bought me a little Mini Cooper S to start off with. He said, if you hate it, we'll sell it. And I fell in love with it, so the rest is history, and I'm still doing it.
That's amazing. How have you gone qualifying, racing? What's the track like?
Yeah, qualifying wasn't great. There was oil everywhere over the track, so qualified ninth, which was okay. Doing PBs around here of 204s, which is good for me. And yesterday's race, I came third, so I was pretty excited. And not so good today. So
That's all right. Look, hey, 204s. That's very respectable.
yeah, considering last year I had a really nasty prang in that car. Someone drove over the top of my car and broke my foot in 6 places. This is the first time back out on track. Pretty happy with those results.
And the foot's healed nicely.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've got 3 plates and 14 screws in my foot now, so.
Don't do that, kids. Don't do that. That's fantastic. Look, everything in this garage is looking fantastic. This is exactly what we're talking about, is the grassroots entry into motorsport. What would you say to anybody thinking about getting into motorsport?
I'd say come talk to someone that's already involved in motorsport. Like, it makes a huge difference to understand how to get a license, how to get involved, what cars to choose. And then I'd also say, if you can, join the VHRR Junior program, because like I said, you get free entry to all their events under the age of 21, free garage and free practice. So it's really worthwhile.
So they're really, really supporting that junior entry level.
Yeah, as well, like my brother needed a new race suit. We have funds there to support him. So he got a brand new race suit through the junior club for free, because that's what we're doing to try and get younger people into the sport.
That's fantastic. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
How cool is this? There were so many cars there. Like, so many cars.
Yeah.
And I'm conscious of the fact that we're a grassroots motorsport, and there were so many millions and millions of dollars worth of cars there.
Yeah, a lot of zeros.
And I apologise because it's not particularly grassroots. There's not many grassroots people can afford like that Ferrari, the 70s.
Porsche 917.
No, they're not exactly low end cars.
Yeah, far from it.
But like those grassroots drivers that were driving on the same track at the same time,
Correct.
as stuff like the 917 and Lotuses, and was fantastic.
And it was funny because when we're walking through the garages and so forth, that it's easy to get caught up with all the shiny, beautiful things like that. But we both mentioned throughout the day that our attention sort of went like this, and look, the Honda Excels caught our attention because that's kind of what we're about.
Yeah,
so,
and the Formula Fords and that
Formula Vs as well.
Yep, and your entry level. There's a couple of Datsuns and whatnot there.
Correct.
That was where the thing that impressed me the most. And don't get me wrong, the 917 Porsche, impressive. All the Formula One cars, impressive. All the 1980s and 90s and touring cars and all the stuff that made me feel like a kid with a Matchbox set that had just come to life.
Yeah,
I say that a couple of times.
Yes,
but it's not just that impressed me the most. It was the VHRR, the Victorian Historic Racing Register.
That's the one. Yeah, I was wondering if you
Sorry, guys. The event that they put on was not just an amazing event, not just an amazing event for spectators, because I lost count the amount of kids that were put into that Ferrari.
Like, so jealous.
I know.
If I could fit in it, I would have got in it.
Yeah.
I'd probably get one leg in.
Get stuck.
But to be able to be a kid, just go for it. Jump in.
Yeah.
Sit in a Formula One
car.
car.
It was so awesome to see.
Yeah.
But to put on an event that encourages, yes, let people into your pit garages, show them your cars.
Yeah.
The VHRR, you need to be commended for what an amazing event you put on.
Absolutely.
But then allow juniors to race
free.
and give them a free pick garage. Like that was amazing.
It certainly
What
was.
you saw with that. That
Yeah.
was
And talk about someone who's not only just passionate about her sport, but what she's trying to do to lift the profile of the sport, get people involved in it.
Oh, yeah.
She works so hard. Not that you saw in the video, but when we actually got there, she was out collecting and picking up cans out of rubbish bins. And I hope they don't embarrass her, but going to that length to raise funds for juniors to be involved in it.
That's
I mean,
fantastic.
who does that?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yep. That's commendable.
Yeah, she's an absolute superstar.
Yep.
What also I found really impressive was not just what was on track racing, but what was actually around the paddocks and being able to wander around. Like you'd be walking along, and I was sort of being nostalgic. I'd sort of, we sort of grew up with different types of interesting cars, but I'm looking. Oh, look, there's a MR2 twin turbo, and there's a 300 ZX, and oh look, a Bel Air, and then we saw the DeLorean.
The array of cars was just phenomenal, and it's not just the people who organise, which they do a just stupidly amazing job. Did you know that there was 240 volunteers for that day, for that weekend? 240 volunteers, I might add.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not getting paid.
No.
Amazing.
And having the opportunity to talk to Michelle and AJ and hear a little bit about their story. And Nick was there earlier, which we didn't actually get on camera, who also had a really similar background. Like he came from India about 10 years ago, same pathway, just wanted to be involved in the sport, working as a marshal, and lo and behold, now working at the Formula One as well.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So, hat off to everybody who was at that event and organised. And
there's a reason why it's the biggest historical race meet in the Southern Hemisphere, I think.
Yeah, so good. So we will definitely be going back next year.
Yeah, count me in for sure.
So anyway, I think that's about it for this week. The calendar and whatnot, we will get back to it about what's coming up.
Sure.
But if you're unsure as to what's coming up, check the Motorsport Australia website. They have a calendar on there. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was also going to say that you can also go back and watch the previous episode because we talked about all of that too.
Yeah, there's enough.
That makes it even faster and easier.
To the end of April, I think we
did.
Too,
correct.
So, all right. Well, I think that's it.
I think we're done.
All right.
See you next time.
See you later, guys.
Multi-pass.
Motorsport show. Motorsport show. I got a good one. I got a good couple of ones. So,
sorry. Are we done?
Welcome to Fast Talk. We're at the Phillip. On a picturesque, perfect day. It's a perfect day. It's a lovely day.
Nearly snorted.
So today, as you...
There's a pathway through.
I'm so tired.
Yep. I want to be close to this car too.
I'm not...
Who are you?
I forgot my name.
You
I forgot my name. I'm so tired.